900 years before anyone on this earth built a flying machine, somebody put one in this book. It is made of ebony and ivory. It has no wings and no engine and no magic word. It has 2 small pegs in its neck. One takes you up. And tonight's story turns entirely on a young man who pressed that one in front of a crowd without asking a single question first, including the obvious one. On the 5th night, there were 2 lamps. I want to be careful about how much I make of that. I had brought 1 lamp every night for 4 nights. On the 5th night, there was a second one already burning on the floor of that room, and nobody mentioned it, and nobody has ever mentioned it since. A man who bans stories does not order a second lamp for the storyteller's room. He looked at the wall while I lit it, so I looked at the wall too, and I gave him the biggest, loudest, farthest flying story I had. There was a king of Persia named Saber, and every new year he held a festival, and every new year the clever people of the world came to show him what they had made. Most of it was rubbish, some of it was not. That year, 3 men brought 3 wonders. The first brought a peacock of gold that struck the hours, 1 cry for every hour that had passed, so that a man never had to wonder how much of his day was gone. The second brought a brass trumpeter to stand above the city gate, which sounded of its own accord the moment an enemy entered the city, so that no traitor could ever walk in unannounced. Useful, alarming, the king paid well for both, and the third man wheeled in a horse. Not a live horse, a horse of black ebony wood inlaid with ivory, saddled in red leather, standing perfectly still on the marble, beautiful, expensive, and everyone assumed a statue. The old man who had made it said, "It flies." It did fly. He showed them. He rose to the roof of the hall and came down again, and the hall made a sound I would have paid money to hear. The king said, "Name your price." And the maker said, "Your daughter." The hall stopped. Understand what had just happened. A man had built a miracle, carried it across the world, and then asked to be paid in a person, as if a princess were a sum of money that happened to have opinions. The king said no, loudly, and I'd like it on record that he never once considered otherwise. But his son, Prince Firuz, 19 years old and the single most confident human being in this entire book, was not listening to any of that. He was looking at the horse. "Father," he said, "before we send this man away, let me see whether the thing actually works." And he was in the saddle before anyone could stop him. The maker, very helpfully, showed him the peg that takes you up. The maker did not mention the other one. The horse went up like a hawk off a wrist. Roof, sky, cloud, gone in about the time it takes to say the word wait. And now the prince is somewhere above the clouds on a piece of furniture, going up, not along up. Here is what I love about this boy, and it is the same thing that got him into it. He did not scream, he did not pray. He thought a machine that has a peg to go up was built by someone practical. Practical people build the other peg. So the crown prince of Persia, several miles above his own kingdom, began patting a wooden horse all over. Its neck, its shoulders, under its mane, the way you'd search a coat for a lost key. And behind its right ear, his thumb found a second peg. He pressed it, the horse leveled out, and a 19-year-old boy discovered, alone in the sky, that he had just learned to fly. And here, I have to stop the story because something happened in the room. The king laughed. Out loud, a real one, the kind that gets out before you can stop it, at the picture of a prince slapping a wooden horse in a panic looking for the off switch. I had been in that room 5 nights. I had seen him nod and speak one word and ask me to come back and fall asleep. I had never heard that sound. Nobody in that palace had heard it in 7 years. It stopped as fast as it came. He put his hand down. He looked at the floor like a man who had dropped something valuable and was deciding whether to pick it up in front of company. I did what I did the night he fell asleep. I kept going as if nothing had happened. But I want you to know that I lost my place in the story for a moment, and it was worth it. Where he came down was a city he had never heard of, in a kingdom the map-makers of Persia had drawn wrong. He landed on a palace roof at night, because a roof is the only place a flying horse doesn't cause a riot. And in the garden below, unable to sleep, was the daughter of that country's king. Her name was Shams. Now, a strange young man appearing in your palace at midnight is not ordinarily good news. She did not scream, and she did not run. She asked him who he was and how he had got in that order, which tells you a great deal about her. He told her the truth, which was so unlikely that she made him show her. And when he took her up onto the roof, and she put her hand on that black wooden neck, she did not ask whether it was safe. She asked how high it went. They were young, and it was the first flying machine in the history of the world, and there was a spare saddle length behind him. You already know what they did. They went to Persia, both of them, at sunrise over mountains no road crossed, in about the time it takes a caravan to leave the city gate. King Sabur got his son back from the sky, and a future daughter-in-law he had not expected, and the whole city was ordered to celebrate for a month, which the whole city was happy to do. The prince sent word to her father, properly formally, with gifts and an apology and an invitation. Whatever else this boy was, he was not a thief. And the maker of the horse, the man who had asked to be paid in a person, and then let a boy fly off without telling him about the second peg, the king had him locked up, which was sensible. It was also not nearly enough. Because here is the thing about a man who spends his life building something nobody else understands. He is patient, he is not loud, and people stop watching him. Somewhere in that month of celebration, the maker got out of his cell and went straight to the treasury where they had put his horse. Then he found the princess in the garden pavilion and bowed very low and told her that the prince had sent for her, that they were to fly out together to meet her father's messengers, and would she please be seated. He had built the horse. Nobody in that palace had any reason to doubt the man who had built the horse. She got on, and the old man swung up in front of her and pressed the peg that takes you up. The prince came out into the garden at the sound. He was perhaps 30 feet away. It might as well have been the moon. He watched the only flying machine in the world carry her up over the wall, over the city, over the mountains, and out of the sky entirely. And he had no horse and no map and no idea which direction the man had chosen. And then the sun came up. I have never in my life been so pleased to see a sunrise, because I have never seen a man take a sunrise so personally. He leaned forward. He put both hands on his knees. He looked at the window like it had insulted him. And my sister, who has grown far too comfortable in this arrangement, didn't even bother with the polite version. "Sister," she said, "you cannot leave her up there." And I said, "I can actually, that's the job." And then to the throne, because I had earned one small piece of insolence and I intended to spend it. Unless my lord would rather hear the rest tomorrow. 5 nights ago, that sentence would have been the last one I ever said. He looked at me for a long moment. Then he said dryly, and I swear there was something underneath it, "Tomorrow then, and bring the horse back." He left, 2 lamps still burning behind him. And on the arm of the throne there was a 5th thread, and this one was ivory white, the hardest of all of them to see against that grey. You have to be looking for it now. I am always looking. 5 nights down. 996 to go.